Here's Fillmore. Pegram thought, okay, I think I'll get to do something here. Pegram's backing up as Fillmore is working to get into his rightful spot. He's being told he made the cut in time, so he is able to join and rejoin into the proper spot on row number 2. Ladies and gentlemen, race number 2, American Superbike Triumph Superbike Classic, presented by America's First Federal Credit Union, is about to be underway. Strap in, folks. It's going to be a great 21-lap race. Josh Hayes got a great start. Roger Hayden got a great start as well. Roger will slot into the 2 spot. He'll bring Cardenas behind him. In the 3 spot, it's Josh Hayes, Scott Russell, that's going to lead him into 3.
Well, this is like a carbon copy of what we saw yesterday as far as what was going on in the middle part of the race. And Roger Hayden, you know, after you heard him having to rebuild that bike, the team did. So let's hope that this one feels just as good to him as the one did yesterday, because he really rode him well yesterday.
And all he had was a 20-minute warm-up this morning to dial that machine in. Was it enough time? Did they get it close enough? We'll find out as things unfold. Right now, Josh Hayes is putting his head down. We see this out of Josh. It's not surprising. When it goes green, he's on it right from the get-go.
Well, now think about this. He's thinking, you know, Roger had a problem. He fell down, so his confidence might be shaking a little bit. He knows his teammates falling down. His confidence, as well as Martin. He said, all 3 of these guys behind me have fallen down yesterday. If I hit them hard right now, maybe I can make a break, and while they're kind of tiptoeing around a little bit on the first lap.
Well, a couple of years ago, he won 16 races pretty much by doing exactly that, by getting out at the initial start, by putting his head down, going to work early, demoralizing his competition. Welcome to Barber, all the folks at fanschoice.tv. This is American Superbike Racing. Right now, Josh has a good head of steam, about a 10-bike length advantage over Roger Hayden, Martin Cardenas, Cam Beaubier, and Aussie Dave Anthony. That's 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th. And the officials are reporting that the start is under review. So we will have answer on that shortly, whether or not it is that everyone was clean.
Well, by Danielle reminding Josh Hayes that he might be able to break a record today, might have fired him up a little bit more, because he's pulling away right now at the front as they come up here to Charlotte's Web. He's got at least 10, 15 bike lengths lead, and a braking contest for the Yoshimura Suzukis as they go 1, 2, 3 down into Charlotte's Web. And mistake by the number 2, Cam Beaubier. Man, we've seen him make some mistakes, and now David Anthony pounces on him. He drops him back to 5th.
And Aussie Dave has not made many mistakes here in the last couple of rounds. He has been one of the guys you got to contend with. Here's Roger Hayden and Martin Cardenas as we're getting a report that the 11 of Chris Fillmore has made that hard left-hand turn into the hot pit. Not sure what's up with that.
That's unfortunate. They had issues yesterday on the KTM. He didn't finish, and they'll be gutted and be ready to get out of Barber here in a little while. Looked like Martin made the move on his teammate, Roger Hayden, as they went off the back straightaway. Now he jumps up, and let's see, he sees Josh Hayes getting away right now. He wants to make a move quick.
Let's go down trackside real quick to Danielle Teal with a report.
Thank you, Barry, with the number 11, Chris Fillmore, visibly upset about the result. Right out the gate, Chris, you guys had an issue. I know you had an issue yesterday as well. Tell us what happened.
Yesterday, you know, I haven't really heard the final word. I know the bike overheated and then locked up on me yesterday, and then today, just more bad luck. I think it all seems to be electrical. Hopped on the A bike and something went wrong in the warm-up lap, so I came in and hopped on my backup bike, and the first lap felt good, and then going into the second lap, or the first lap of the race, and I don't know what happened. Something went wrong electrically, and it was just kind of sitting on the pit lane speed limiter. So I'm not really sure. We got some work to do going into the next round. Pretty frustrating.
You can hear the frustration in his voice. You know, it's so sad. And now we know what the rest of the story, thanks to Danielle. He went out on the primary bike. It had a problem. He had to go to the backup bike. Then the backup bike was stuck on the pit road rev limiter. So, hey, what are you going to do? You go fight that war another day, Scott.
Yeah, that's too bad. I mean, there's so much electronics, so much on the bikes now that it caught him out on this one, and a bad day yesterday at the office, too. So those guys will be looking to regroup before we go to Laguna Seca.
And he has, of course, done so much development work on that KTM. He's deserving of good finishes on the bike, and I'm sure they'll get them. Josh Hayes has the fast lap of the race here early on, 125.949. 125.949, but everybody gets up a good head of steam here. The top 14 have all recorded their personal best lap on lap number 2. Not unexpected. It is on here at Barber Motorsports Park. There's 18 to go in this 21-lap affair, and that man right there, number 4, Josh Hayes, he's really, really riding well here in the early going. As we got him on our screen, it's a pretty good little bit of distance as he goes into Charlotte's Web. Here comes Roger Hayden trying to track him down.
Yeah, this is not good news for the rest of the field. He was 0.7 of a second faster than the man in second last lap, Martin Cardenas. So Josh Hayes is marching away at the front. Roger running third. Maybe doesn't have quite the feel he had in that number 1A bike. In the B bike right now, sometimes they're a little bit different. You know, although they're the same, sometimes one of them might feel a little bit better, and maybe that's what he's experiencing. And maybe we'll see more of him as some of the fuel burns off. Maybe this bike will start handling a little bit better, but the 4 is gone already.
And it's true, you can take 2 bikes right off the showroom floor and they can feel notably different, even though the suspensions are the same and everything's the same. So Martin Cardenas in the 2 spot. Number 95, Roger Hayden running 3rd. Cam Beaubier in the 4th spot. Aussie Dave Anthony 5th. Chris Clark running 6th. The 18 of Chris Ulrich in the 7th spot. Larry Pegram 8th. Corey West 9th. Trent Gibson in the 10th spot here in the early going of our American Superbike final here at Barber Motorsports Park.
Well, when you watch number 4 ride, you know you're watching nearly perfection. This guy works so hard at getting things done early and getting the bike down to the apex. Any of you new racers out there, track day riders, pay attention to how he does not miss an apex on this racetrack. And that right there is what you maximizing the racetrack that's out there, hitting those marks, and that's what Josh is so good at doing. And doing it lap after lap makes it real hard to reel a guy like that in.
Yeah, you know, you need the guy up front to make a little bit of a mistake to give you just a chance at doing something with him. You're laying down as good a laps as you know how to do, and Martin has certainly been doing that. But Josh Hayes, once he gets a little bit of distance on you, he's hard to do anything with because he makes so few mistakes on the racetrack.
And the bike, the package that he has is so well put together, and they've got that bike so R&D'd, and he's done most of that work on that bike, and so he knows it. It's like, he knows it as well as the back of his hand, you know, so when he gets on it, I mean, he just knows how to make that thing work.
Well, this could be a benefit to Martin Cardenas. If it were to end this way, that would give him a boost. He's 7th in points right now. Roger Hayden is 3rd, and that could help Martin's points chase here this year in American Superbike, but we are quite a distance from the finish of this one. If you're watching on Fans Choice, there you go. The lap meter caught up. It's 5:21. 16 now remain in this one.
Looks like Cam Beaubier has recovered from a mistake that he made down in Charlotte's Web. He ran wide on the brakes as he turned in there early in the race, and that allowed David Anthony to get around him. But he's gotten around David now and then put some real distance between him and David. And now he's got 2 Yoshimiras out there dangling. Oh, he made another mistake because David Anthony's all over him again as they go into breaking into Charlotte's Web.
And that's the best battle on the racetrack right now, is the 1 for 4th, as they swapped it twice that time. And Aussie Dave Anthony got the measure of him a little bit over the rise coming out of Charlotte's Web. We'll keep an eye on that battle as it progresses around the racetrack.
Well, I got to believe he's struggling with something set up, because I talked to him this morning. He softened the front of the bike a little bit because he has had issues in the last 3 races. Last 2 races with crashing, so it's made a change. I don't know if it was the right way to go.
There's the 25 machine of Aussie Dave Anthony and number 2, Cam Beaubier. You're watching the battle for 4th, and it is a barn burner right now. Aussie Dave having his best year ever in Superbike. He's riding extremely well.
He's going to get a good look at one of the best young riders in America right now. So anytime he can run with somebody like that, this really helps your game, helps up your game. And his team, himself, they've really worked hard. You heard David talk about yesterday how a lot of changes in that team, and look at how it played off this year. 2 second-place finishes this year.
Cam Beaubier doing well. He heads off into turn number 1. He is leading number 25, Aussie Dave Anthony, the Monster Energy Graves Yamaha team here. And we're watching a great battle here. Right now, Cam appears to have the measure of Aussie Dave Anthony, but Aussie Dave is definitely within striking distance here in this American Superbike race number 2.
Down that infield straight, we're watching the Yamaha Go up against the Suzuki down through there, the 2. Cameron Bobier jumping the curb right here just a second. Yamaha handles that nice. He makes it through the museum turn, piles on the power right there. A couple mistakes early in this race right now have cost him some serious time, and will he be able to recuperate that is a big question mark.
You know, he's a pretty good slick track rider. At Road America, the rain came. Everybody thought for a moment there that Aussie Dave was on rain tires perhaps, because he was coming up. He was riding brilliantly, coming up through the field. Ended up with a second place finish yesterday on a super hot, greasy Barber Motorsports Park track. And he did the same thing. He's just really good on slick racetracks, I'm beginning to think.
I think he's good everywhere.
I like it. I'll go with you on that. Showing us here right now, of course, Cam Bobier is as well. We've not yet seen just how brilliant a rider Cam Bobier is. We're going to, though, because he's got his head down today. He's working really well. Again, Josh Hayes has the fast lap of the race, 125.695. He is your race leader, and with 14 to go, it's Hayes, Martin Cardenas, Roger Hayden in 3rd, Cam Bobier 4th, Aussie Dave Anthony 5th, Chris Clark in the 6th spot, Corey West 7th, Chris Ulrich in the 8th spot, Larry Pegram 9th, and I understand Pegram has incurred a 10-second penalty on the start by anticipating the start. Sean Dwyer having another good day here as well at Barber. He is 10th right now on the field. He was 6th yesterday in race number 1, so Sean Dwyer having a good weekend.
Boy, Hayes is really feeling it today. He was a second and a half a lap faster than the guy in 2nd, Martin, last lap. And you can see what that means on the racetrack. That means he's out of here.
He's checking out. He's going to be in a different zip code soon if it continues at this pace. And Martin's riding well. They've got that much distance, and he can't make it up right now. He and Roger back there shining the blue and white colors of the Yoshimura Suzuki factory team in 2nd and 3rd. If it ended like that, they'll both be on the box, which is a good thing. But when Josh Hayes gets it in the wind like this, there's not much you can do about it, except if you're his teammate, you might, or one of his competitors, you might think maybe he'll have a little problem, maybe something will happen, but it's going to take some outside influence in order for Josh to lose this one. It's his to lose right now. The Yoshimura Suzuki factory riders going at it here for the two spot. That's the 36 of Martin Cardenas and number 95 of Roger Hayden in his wheel tracks.
Yeah, it looks like Martin, is running pretty good, and Roger's warming up to that new bike right there. But these two guys in this area right now where we are on the racetrack had big moments yesterday, big crashes, and so they've kind of knocked the edge off these guys, it looks like, for today. And that's allowed Josh to kind of just jet off into the distance and leaving these two guys to really decide that 2nd place because there's no pressure from behind. Cam's quite a ways back. Don't think he can close that gap in the amount of time he's got, but hey, anything can happen.
It can, but you're probably right here. Martin, he's got a little bit of pressure perhaps from Roger, but I don't think he's feeling it like pressure. I think Roger perhaps would like to make the move if he can later on in the going. As you said a couple of times this season, the goal is to always beat your teammate. And so I'm sure Martin is not just riding around. He's giving it all he's got right now to hold Roger at bay. Roger Hayden right there in the wheel tracks and pressuring. Caleb DeCarroll had a good race yesterday. He stepped in the booth. We're going to try to get a word with him here in just a moment. We'll let Scott Russell have a word with him in just a second. We're watching Martin Cardenas and the 95 of Roger Hayden working it for 2nd here at Barber. They are following. They're a distant 2nd and 3rd right now to Josh Hayes. The Monster Energy Graves Yamaha rider is gone.
And he's pretty much running a 2nd faster than everybody on the racetrack. Most of the guys behind him are in the 127s, he's in 126. So these guys have got to be wondering, what are we going to have to do to deal with this guy, number 4, Josh Hayes. He's just kind of owning us right now. Kind of late in the game today to make anything happen, so he's got to bring that thing home. Well, we got Caleb up here in the booth, and Caleb, in that Super Sport race yesterday, you went third and backed it up again today. We talked a lot about you, man. Tell us a little bit about your weekend here at Barber.
Yeah, you know, I love this track. It's a great facility out there. It was a little hot during our race today, kind of what some of these guys are dealing with right now, you know, a little greasy and stuff like that. But, you know, ultimately, once you're in that zone, you're just kind of racing, and it's pretty normal. So it was a good weekend for us, and we made a lot of progress and had a lot of fun. So it was a good weekend, and you know, this is one of my favorite tracks. So definitely cool to get on the podium.
Well, you're doing a great job, and you got to be proud of yourself because, I mean, you have really marched to the front of that Super Sport field this year, kind of out of nowhere, really. And, I mean, now finding yourself running with the two top guys there today, maybe I thought you had something for them there today. I think it could have been anybody's race.
Yeah, you know, it was a really good race. We were kind of all there, all three of us, the whole entire race. It was really draining, actually, you know, just all three of us being right there. And I was just kind of chilling out back there, you know, hanging out and kind of waiting for those last couple laps. And fortunately hit some lappers, which I knew was going to happen. Hit some lappers on the last couple laps, and it kind of separated us out a little bit. And that last lap, we were kind of just, you know, a couple bike lengths apart, so we really couldn't do anything. But, you know, it was still a good race. I would like to maybe, but 2/3 is a really good weekend for us, and you know, it was just great to get out there and ride with them fast.
Well, man, I tell you what, you keep doing what you're doing, and you're going to win one soon. I got to tell you, I bet you're excited about going to Laguna Seca, and we'll be rooting for you there. Thanks a lot for coming up here and talking to us and making that race really exciting yesterday and today for us to call.
Yeah, thank you, guys.
One of the rising super sport stars right there was Scott Russell. Caleb DeCarroll, number 51, having a good go of it here. On track, we're just past the halfway point. It's 10 to go in this 21-lap race. Martin Cardenas and Roger Hayden having a teammate battle here, Scott Russell, and it's heating up a little bit.
It's going to heat up. You know, Roger, like I said, the race here is between teammates. And, boy, I tell you, though, what I said earlier, I'm going to have to eat those words. That number 2 is coming on pretty quick in the way of Cameron Bobier now. He's gotten shaking off David Anthony, shaking out the cobwebs. It looks like he's found a good rhythm right now. These two guys may not know what's coming.
He just turned the second fastest lap of anybody on the racetrack, second only to Josh Hayes by 2/10. So you're right. Cam Bobier's on a mission here, and very well could. He's got time, Scott. There's 9 remaining here. Very well could draw up on these guys and make a 3-rider battle for the 2 spot. We'll find out shortly. You can see the distance right there as the 2 Yoshimura Suzuki teammates came by our position, and right behind him, boom, Cam is in the house.
What he'd like to see was these two guys start battling each other. Now typically slow the pace down a little bit. You see Martin sideways as they go through the valley right there in turn 3. He's getting all of the rear tire, all of the grip out of that Dunlop. And in the meantime, Roger's just kind of sitting there, kind of assessing the situation, thinking, man, where am I going to make a move on this guy? Now Cameron can catch him maybe, but can he get by him? Difficult track to pass. You saw a leg dangling right there from Martin. Maybe just cramping up a little bit. It's hot. If you hadn't drank enough fluids out there, it'll get you.
That would be the most likely thing, I would think, is that he's got a little leg cramp actually going on. That could be debilitating. I mean, that could put an end to your day real quick if it gets bad enough. We've all had that happen to us at some point. And that's certainly a sign of being slightly dehydrated. You see it in college basketball and all the time. When they get those muscle cramps, is typically an indicator that they've not got quite enough water in them. So we watch a good battle here. Josh Hayes, well, I don't know if it's all that good, not for the lead, because Josh Hayes is checked out. He's kind of stinking it up here at American Superbike a little bit, is number 4. Way out ahead of the field. Martin Cardenas and Roger Hayden battling. Cam Bobier had a good battle going with Aussie Dave Anthony. He has shaken Aussie Dave now and has set his sights on Roger up in front of him and is closing every lap. He draws a little bit closer. Behind that battle is Aussie Dave Anthony, Chris Clark, Corey West, Chris Ulrich, Larry Pegram, and Sean Dwyer. as the laps begin to get on the short side here. There's 8 to go right now. It'll be 7 to go when they get back to the stripe next time.
The two of Barber took about 3/10 out of Roger Hayden that last lap. So as long as they can keep marching away, like you said, getting to him is one thing, and then passing is a whole nother. But you can see the gap is visibly closing, and kind of dragging David up there too with him a little bit.
Yep, Aussie Dave is still in this thing, and they're in the same screenshot now. Just about all the screenshots will include the two when they get a little bit wide on those two battling for the 2 spot.
Man, I tell you, these guys have got to be feeling that heat, because these SuperBikes, just to ride them on a normal track is one thing, and at the pace they're running super hard, and then add in the heat and the technicality of this racetrack, man, you got your hands full out here on the SuperBike today. Coming out of this last corner, you can really see Cam right there in the shot now, and he can smell him right now, and he's got a whip, and that dog will hunt. He's trying to get up there on him after a couple of mistakes. He's going to be kicking himself again, because he's not had the year that we all thought he was going to. I knew he was going to have a great year. Started out great, and now he had some hiccups, and on a short season like this, kind of shot himself in the foot as far as the championship goes.
So we'll find out when Roger gets an indication from his pit board, or he starts hearing the low thrum of that R1 behind him. If Roger's holding anything back here and has anything, he might want to get an insurance position in between him and get out in front of Martin Cardenas and get one rider between him and Cam. I know Roger's going to want to come back here today and do all that he can do and finish the best that he can. Right now, he's really following his teammate around. Both of them look about pretty evenly matched at this point in the race with 7 to go. It'll be 6 when they get back to the stripe. And definitely drawing up now. It almost is a 3-rider battle. Here comes Cam Beaubier.
It's good to see he's kind of got his confidence back after all those crashes, and now this will be a good race. It won't be the race he wanted, but you know, to rebound and especially if he can find his way around these 2 Suzukis, then he'll be kind of back on track again.
Or perhaps even find his way around one of them and end up on the box here in Castrol Winner's Circle at Barber. That might be redemption enough to get him through to the next round. But Martin Cardenas is kind of pulling away here just a little bit. Well, or at the moment at least, he's out by about 5 bike lengths. That's about the largest advantage he has had on Raj all race long, even though they're still pretty much right together on the racetrack. He's got a moment of breathing room there.
Yeah, Cam was super fast through turn 1 and turn 2, and now he's parked right on the rear wheel basically of these two. So now this is going to be fun to watch and see where he feels like he can make a move. You can see Roger running a little bit wide right there. That allows him to close the gap just that little bit more as they go down the infield straightaway.
So at the moment, barring some unforeseen circumstance, the Monster Energy Graves Yamaha number 4 of Josh Hayes is on his way to a win, perhaps, here at Barber. Now the question is, who is going to be second and who is going to be third on the box? Right now, Martin Cardenas is in the 2 spot. Roger Hayden is third and wants to take it away from him. And the guy that wants to spoil the Yoshimura Suzuki party is the other Monster Energy Graves Yamaha rider, number 2, Cam Beaubier, who has caught Roger Hayden now. I will say he is a part of the battle. And Roger could very well, the way he reeled Roger and Cardenas in, we likely will have a battle, and it's going to be probably in this lap or the one upcoming.
Yeah, he's close enough now to really start to think about where am I going to do this. Roger looks kind of slow right there at the apex, and now he's going to take advantage of that.
Maybe he mistimed his move a little bit, but he ran right up on the back of Roger Hayden that time out of the final corner. Now Roger's under pressure as they work through 3. Scott Russell, he's got his hands full here right now. Cam has arrived on the scene and he wants to take a spot or 2 away.
Yeah, you can see Roger struggling right now with corner speed in the middle of the corner, and that's where Cam's really caught up with him now. So Roger just going to have to try to survive this one. It looks like it's just a matter of time, I think, before the 2 makes the move on the 95.
And if it takes him too long to get around Raj, he will run out of time to perhaps catch and pass Martin. But it didn't take him too long. He got the job done. Now he'll set his sights and his attention on catching number 36, Martin Cardenas, as we've got a new man up in the 3 spot. Roger will be relegated back to 4th right now. You could see that one coming, no doubt about it. We saw that coming. When they get back to the line, it will be 4 to go.
Yeah, I think Roger's at the point now where he's like, look, I just got to get to the finish line at this point. Things are not working well for me today. And just let him go and then regroup and try to come back strong at Laguna. But he can't lay down too much because Dave Anthony's not that far back.
That's true. Aussie Dave is lurking back there in the 5th spot right now behind Raj.
Yeah, and you can see the Yamaha, the 2 coming on. Martin Cardin as they make their way down the straight, hard on the brakes, over the crest of that hill, and he just lets that Yamaha roll in with some nice speed. Really made some ground right there, and this is the section track I think he's really good. Well, he's good all the way around the track now, but seems to really close the gap on those long corners like that.
This is of interest. 3.5 laps remaining in this one. Martin spinning the rear tire a little bit on a couple of corner exits. Still bike working very well for him, but Cam is there, and Cam is beginning to smell that spot. He's beginning to believe he's got a shot at second on the box here today, perhaps joining his teammate 1-2 for the Monster Energy Graves Yamaha team. We will find out. He had definitely made easy work out of passing Roger Hayden. Passing the 36 may not be quite that easy. Martin's got it going on here today up in the 2nd spot. The last time by, Martin had a 127.483 and Cam had a 127.348, so he's obviously there. He is well within striking distance now. It almost appears to me it's a matter of time in his move, and it's fait accompli.
I think so. Obviously, when you can run somebody down from that far back, you've got the pace, and just kind of picking your spot right now, and just one little bobble from the 36 is going to open the door for the 2, and it may not even take that. Slower rider, Johnny Rock Page right here in turn 1, goes wide, did a great job getting out of the way of the leaders. That's really important for these slower riders to pay attention to those blue flags waving.
He did give them ample room. He went all the way out to the stripe, gave them all kinds of room on the bottom to sort it out. He knows we're down to short laps here. He knows that we are getting down to it, and those guys are racing for a spot. It'll be 2 to go when they get back to the stripe. Martin's under the gun now. Meanwhile, up front, Josh Hayes is having a beautiful afternoon ride here at Barber. He is checked out on this field. This is the one we're watching. Number 36, Martin Cardenas. Now the pressure increases. Cam Bobier looking for a way around. Took just a look on the inside, maybe offline just a little bit.
I think he got in there hot, Barry, and did all he could do not to run in the back of Martin right there. Regroup now with a few laps to go here. He's still got time. He can catch that back up and maybe make that move right at the end of the race when he needs to.
Definitely got in there hot, had to get on the binders and roll out of the throttle a little bit more than he would like to, and that cost him some distance on Martin. Martin able to get about 10 bike lengths back as they were nose to tail, throw a blanket over him prior to that little move. So right now Martin has a little bit of breathing room. When they do get back to the stripe, it is going to be a white flag situation here at Barber.
Well, that little bobble may have cost him right there because Martin, I don't know, here we go through the turn 2 where he is so strong. I'm talking about Cameron. Let's see if he can make up that time he lost going into the museum area of the racetrack last lap. These braking zones are good spots to kind of leave the brakes a little bit late and try to roll up on your competitor.
And it might have woken Martin up just a little bit too. You know, I mean, he certainly is riding well right now. Get the front tire off the ground coming down the hill. He's rocking it here.
Yeah, he was 0.4 of a second quicker that last lap, but that was that mistake we saw Cameron. But he's definitely got the hurry up on now, and he knows he's going to have to work real hard to keep the 2 off. And now he's got a nice little gap now. You know, that could have been such a close call for Cam. It's hard to see on TV what really went down. He may have lost the front, and we didn't really see it. Maybe he's like, hey, I got to finish today. I can't put another one of these in the weeds.
And you know he's thinking that.
Yeah.
The last thing he wants to do is throw his motorcycle down the road here at Barber today.
I think that's what we're seeing. I think he's just like, hey, I'm on the box. Let's just get out of Barber and to try again at the next one.
Take what you can get. Josh Hayes is doing that. He's taking what he can get. He's going to take a sweep if he can finish one more lap here at Barber Motorsports Park. He's under the white flag now and heading off around this racetrack for the final time. The Triumph SuperBike Classic Weekend presented by America's First Federal Credit Union is close to a close. We are one lap away from the final checker of the weekend. And Josh Hayes is certainly proving to all that he is that type of disciplined pro rider here in the last few rounds. He is continuing to be very, very good under difficult circumstances. Monster Energy, Graves Yamaha team, looking to have two machines on the box here at Barber today.
Yeah, super good ride for Josh this weekend. Two great rides, really, and to be leading the points right now. He's back on track after losing that championship last year to his teammate. That's the last thing he wanted to happen again. And in the beginning of the year, it looked like it could have happened again, but now he's kept it steady and been super strong, and now it's really paying off for him, and he's going to be super happy to get this win today.
Really, actually, till yesterday, he was in a little bit of hurt on points, but yesterday did turn his fortunes around pretty good. And today's certainly going to do it. Big wheel stand here at the line, checkered flag, and Josh Hayes will win the Triumph SuperBike Classic American Superbike Race 2 here at Barber Motorsports Park. Martin Cardenas will slip across that line in the 2 spot. Cam Bobier will probably be happy to get a third here today after what occurred with him yesterday. Aussie Dave Anthony on his way to a 4th place finish here. Roger Hayden will settle for 5th today. He too, he will not be happy. Roger's not satisfied with 5th ever. However, that's a nice recovery considering the kind of work they did to that motorcycle overnight.
So I'm looking down at the rear of the bike as he come across the line. So he obviously had an issue. We don't know what that is yet, but it did good just to bring that thing home today.
Well, fans, you know that there are times that you recognize you are in the presence of greatness, and I believe right there is greatness. Number 4, Josh Hayes, pointing at the fans, waving at them all the way around this racetrack and just saying hello and goodbye all at the same time.
Well, that's cool that he's tied to Latin now for 6 wins at this racetrack. It's impressive, what both of those guys have been able to do in the Superbike class. And Josh just continues to pile on these records, now, and his race wins. Man, this guy could ride the way he's riding. He could ride for many years to come. It looks like it at this pace.
He really can. He's healthy as he's ever been. He's on his game, on top of his game. I'd say he could have a lot of seasons left in him if he chooses to pursue continuing his Superbike career. The Monster Energy Graves Yamaha team, we say congratulations. You've done it. You've done the double here today. This weekend at Barber Motorsports Park. As Josh makes that left-hand corner, he'll make the way back into the Castrol Winner's Circle, which is going to be really fun to get to hear his thoughts today. His comments were measured at the outset. He said, I know it's going to be hot, I know it's going to be tough. I just need to put my head down, turn some good, clean laps, and go to work. And that's the workmanlike way that he functions, both in training and in actual race conditions. Christy Lee will be there to capture all the action from Castrol Winner's Circle. There's the team giving him a big high five as he rounded the corner. Those guys have got to be pleased. Their man has done it. He's done the sweep. Great for Yamaha, great for Graves.
Yeah, they work really hard at their program, and just a total package they are.
Big time smile. You can see it through that Arai helmet. The Monster Energy team, one of the dominant teams, certainly one of the top teams in the sport, continuing to impress here today as he'll get a cool wet towel to go around his neck. That skidlet will come off, and we get set to throw it down to Christy Lee here in just a moment to get the thoughts of the Mississippi Madman. He is no longer that. He's a brilliant man. Josh Hayes has won here today at Barber. And we're going to throw it down to Christy Lee down at the Castrol Winner's Circle. Christy?
Number 4, Josh Hayes, best weekend for you here at Barber Motorsports Park, taking wins in both races. Great job out there. You took an early lead and you ran away with it. Congrats.
Yeah, it's a pretty amazing day. I didn't think I would get away with the race quite like that. And, he was really hot today again, and you know, I think a lot of people to thank. I got a team I've been working with for 6 years. They're an amazing group of people, and coach has been training me back home, Rick Klicka, for 10 years, and all of it pays off.
There you have it, today's winner in American Superbike number 4, Josh Hayes on the Monster Energy Graves Yamaha.
Yes, sir. Very happy, Josh Hayes. He knows what's happened here today. He added one to the record book today. As Scott Russell said, he continues to amass records in this sport. His list gets longer and longer and longer in the media guide. Now we're headed for Martin Cardenas. They did it for the Yoshimura Suzuki factory team today. He rode brilliantly, managing a second-place finish. It was a distant second, but nonetheless, he had to outdistance his teammate Roger, and he had to hold off a late race charge from Cam. And let's go down to Christy with Martin.
Thanks, Barry. Number 36, Martin Cardenas. Great race out there. Definitely some position changes. Had to fight for that second-place finish, but I'm sure that's what you guys were looking for after yesterday.
Yeah, after yesterday, this podium is a very good result. We would like to end up a little bit closer to Josh, but he was too fast today. We gave everything we could, and we ended up finishing second, and that's give it up to my Yoshimura Suzuki team, because I'm really sorry for yesterday. They had to stay very late working on the bikes, and so this podium is for them.
There you have it, words from second-place finisher, number 36, Martin Cardenas on the Yoshimura Suzuki Factory Racing Team.
And you got to love that kind of humility. He knows how hard those guys work to put this thing together for him. As a matter of fact, when you really think about it, Scott, the Yoshimura Suzuki team, they did yeoman's effort to get both he and Roger Hayden back in this thing here today. And Cam Beaubier is certainly had a great result today. He finished in third, a nice little redemption ride for him after yesterday. And we'll be throwing it back down to Castro Winner's Circle in just a moment to get his thoughts, as he has just climbed off of the Yoshimura Suzuki GSXR 1000. Okay, let's throw it down. Christy Lee with Cam Beaubier.
Number 2, Cameron Beaubier, definitely a disappointing day yesterday for you and your team. Your team fought hard to get that bike back together for you. You've got to be happy with your result today, being able to get out there and race and claim a third-place finish.
Yeah, definitely. I made a bunch of mistakes this race, but I'm going to go home, do my homework, and be back for Laguna. And I just got to give a big thanks to my team for fixing my bike after both my crashes. So yeah, we'll move on, and congrats to Josh and Martin.
Cameron Beaubier always fighting for more and looking for more in American Superbike number 2. Our third-place finisher today, Cameron Beaubier on the Monster Energy Graves Yamaha.